G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of This is Raleigh podcast. And crazy to say this, but we're 6 months into the year already. So we thought we'd do a second quarter wrap up of, what we've been up to since the last 3 months. Exciting things going on in Raleigh, news, updates, all the above. Today's episode is just purely audio because we're having a technical issue with our video, but it's all good. As long as you can hear us, that's the main thing.
That's right. It's all good. And yes, our last quarter wrap, you guys seem to like it. So we thought, let's do another quarter wrap because we're always out exploring. As some people say to me, do you guys really actually go and do all those things that we share? And yes, we do. Our life is pretty hectic. But it's our nature. It's our profession. For the past 12 years, we have been professional travel bloggers. And before that, we were professional travelers. Mm-hmm. Didn't make money from traveling, but we did a lot of it. So it's just in our nature to always be out exploring. We can't keep still. Too much fun to be had out there. So that's why, we have designated ourselves as your Raleigh guides because we're out there doing it all.
We are out and about.
Yep.
Yes, 90%, probably more of the blog posts, photos, videos, tips you'll see on all our platforms is from personal experience. Mm-hmm. And that's how we like to do it. And then it's the type of information we like to get. If we go to a different city and stuff, we like to get stuff from the locals who are living and breathing it as well. So
yeah, exactly. And we feel that you guys can trust us because, as I said, we are professional travelers, professional travel bloggers. We do know how to experience a place. We arrive in unknown destinations all the time and end up having a great time because we know how to approach things. So we like to bring those skills to showcasing Raleigh and showing you some really cool things that you can do here and how to make every day great.
Oh yeah, that's not mean to say that we've done it all. We've barely scratched the surface on Raleigh, especially from the eating and drinking sides of things.
Yeah,
And so we still rely on you guys for great tips, and we still share other people's tips and suggestions and recommendations, etc. But yes, we bear with us. Eventually, we'll get around to all the things.
Yes, and you do share great tips, and I am doing 4 Zumba classes a week now to compensate for all that eating and drinking that we do. But anyway, at least I'm having fun doing it.
And I'm back in the gym lifting heavy things. It's only taken me, speaking of 6 months, it's only taken me 6 months, those New Year's resolutions we have. Well, yeah, scrap that. Carrying a bit of a shoulder injury, which is annoying me at the moment, but doing my best to lift weights.
Yeah, there we go. Before we dive into this episode, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor for today's episode, April Blackwell from Blackwell Mortgage. And she customises mortgage plans so you can live your best life. Blackwell Mortgage is purpose-driven and donates funds to support children and families in need with every loan closed. Now, Craig and I personally used April's services to finance our home here in Raleigh last year. We loved her experience, her knowledge in the industry, and her positive personal touch and communication skills. April was always quick to answer any of our questions and run the numbers on any of the offers that we submitted. So if you need to finance a home, go to blackwellmortgagenc.com to schedule a consultation and tell her that Kaz and Craig from This is Raleigh sent you, and we will have that website and our show notes as well.
Yeah, April's great. Go check her out.
She's awesome.
All right, where do we start? Like April, May, June. What have we done?
Well, we spoke in the last quarter about our trip to London, and we had the first week in April we were actually in London. We do have a lot of content we won't talk about on this podcast because we actually recorded a podcast about that trip, so you can go back. It'll be in the show notes and listen to that. We also have so much content on Why Travel Blog on London. We've got tips to help you plan a trip to London. We've got the top things to do, places to see. We've got content on Oxford and Bath, and we're going to have some itinerary guides coming out. So you can head over to Why Travel Blog, just search London and you'll find all those posts.
Yeah, and excitingly, since we took that trip, the direct flight from RDU to London is back operating. So, yeah, within 8 hours.
Absolutely, yep.
8 hours you can be from Raleigh and then landing at Heathrow and then in London.
Yep.
Why not?
And we have the London to Montreal direct flight, I believe, is up and running again now. We now have the London to Reykjavik, did I say that correctly, in Iceland, and I believe the direct flight to Paris is almost back. I think it's next month, August.
Yeah, I think
it
it
comes
was
back.
August. But
We're hoping to go
that could
there
change. I mean,
before.
yeah, it's no secret the flying industry is nuts right now. people trying to get places and stuff. But so
Yep, I'm glad
you
we
need to-
just made the decision not to fly. We were talking about Europe this summer. I'm glad we decided not to do that.
Yeah. So if you do fly anywhere, pack your patience and go a day earlier.
Yeah.
Give yourself a buffer.
Yeah, for sure. It's legit crazy out there. We decided to hopefully wait until the fall to go to Paris, but Craig is actually going, and I'm so jealous. Oh, where are you going?
This is in third quarter, isn't it?
It's in third quarter, but we need to tell everyone where are you
Yeah, I
going.
need to build the excitement. I'm going to Ireland, back to Dublin. If you've been following us for a little while, you'll know that we lived in Dublin for a year, way back in 2003. It's probably one of my favourite years of my life, or pre-kids anyway.
Yeah.
Just we were both earning good money, had fun jobs, living in Dublin, fun place to be. Had some good friends. So it's just like no responsibilities. Yeah, what a year that was.
And we haven't been back since.
I know, crazy.
And now you get to go back.
I know, I'm doing a 10-day tour with Globus Journeys and bit of a lap around Ireland. But hopefully you guys can come and meet us up in Dublin and then we go to Paris.
Yeah, that's right. And if you don't know Globus Journeys, I went to Jordan. You know, first quarter I was in Jordan. I was over in Jordan for Why Travel Blog with Globus. And last year I did a Northern California trip. So they've invited us to go back to Ireland. And so Craig got to take this one.
Yeah, it looks like if anyone's looking to go to Dublin, it looks like a good option is to go to DC and then you can fly direct on Aer Lingus from DC to Dublin in 6.5 hours.
That's pretty good.
You know, you could either drive up to DC or get a short flight from Raleigh. I'll get a short flight from Raleigh because I hate driving up I-95. But the option's there if you need it. And I was just going to say it might be a good option because if you can drive anywhere now, probably better than dealing with the mess at the airports.
Yeah.
So if anywhere is within like a 6-hour drive, or 7 hours, maybe longer, you know, by the time you got to be at the airport 2 hours before departure and getting out of the airport and messing around, you could just drive there and be there at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I'd avoid flying at all costs now. So, yeah, drive if you can. Although the cost of fuel is crazy, but then you're paying for that with your flight tickets anyway.
Yeah.
And then in April, I went over to Washington State for a week. I spoke at a travel blogging conference there about running a business while you travel with kids. How to be insane. So I had a great time over there. Went to Tri-Cities, which is a wine region in eastern Washington. Great wines there, really good wines. I prefer Washington State wines to California. We're actually having a guest on the podcast coming soon from Triangle Wine Company, and we're going to be talking about how to be healthy while drinking wine, if that's such a thing. But
Do a
we're going to
cycling,
be traveling
maybe do
old world wine with that topic.
Just going to throw it out there. Maybe do a cycling winery tour.
Yeah, it's all about balance, guys. You can figure it out. I didn't do a cycling wine tour. No, I did ride a bike when I was in Washington State. We did an e-bike ride along the Columbia River there, which was really. But we didn't do wine tasting. But I had other friends who did one of those too while we were there. But anyway, head over to whytravelblog.com if you like good wine. I've got a guide on the Tri-Cities area. There.
And that's Y for yellow. Travelblog.com.
Yep. So that's all the kind of out of state, out of country travel. We got that out of the way. So let's dive into Raleigh. As I said, we decided not to go to Europe. So we've been really focused on exploring more of Raleigh, things to do in the summer, spring, summer. And so we've been discovering a lot of really great places that people said they've never heard of. One recently was Robertson Mill Pond Preserve.
Yeah. If you saw our Instagram video, what a place. What a hidden gem. It's only 30 minutes from downtown Raleigh in Wendell. It's kind of like in between Wendell and Nightdale. But you can go, it's like a cypress swamp preserve. And you can go kayaking or canoeing or stand-up paddleboarding there. We went paddleboarding. And there's a marked trail of buoys, like 72 buoys, sorry.
I was about to say, we better clarify that because people will be like, what the hell?
What's a buoy?
Why are there buoys in the water?
Yeah, we say buoys, you say buoys. Buoys in Australia. 72 marked buoys, which is handy because you would get lost without them.
Yeah, you really would.
Because it's kind of windy and snakes around and stuff like that. But yeah, that was easy to follow. It took us about 45 minutes, but we take a lot of photos and videos, so you could probably do it quicker.
It is just over a mile. So if anyone knows what their paddling speed is, that might help you to know what you do. But we did find, I'd say we're like average kind of paddleboarders. We've done it a fair bit out on the ocean a couple of times. So I think if you're a beginner, I don't think that's a good place to start paddleboarding. I would do a kayak, because you have to navigate through tricky parts. Like at one part I got stuck on a stump, so we had to like try and wedge myself off. So it was kind of, and low hanging branches that you got to duck and weave around.
Yeah, not for your first time. And plus we did it after the big storm that come through recently, so there was like branches
debris
and stuff down and what have you. No, but if you're looking for an easy spot to start kayaking or paddleboarding in Raleigh, go to like Lake Johnson or Lake Raleigh or Falls Lake. Or
there's Bond Lake in
Crabtree Lake.
Crabtree.
Yeah, Bond Lake at Bond Park in Carey.
Yeah.
They're all, very still, open, easy places to navigate.
And do check online what the licensing, because I know at Bond Park you have to have a seasonal pass to be able to take your craft out onto the lake.
Really?
Lake Johnson, you have to pay a fee to go and paddle. You can rent them there as well, but I think at Lake Johnson it's like $4. But you have to go to the little kiosk and pay for that before you go out on the water.
Yeah.
So just to be aware of that as well. In some places you may have to pay.
Yeah, everyone always asks us for rentals for paddleboardings. At Robertson Mill Pond Preserve, there were kayaks for rent there. There was no one actually there at the time. We were there on a Sunday, and it was Father's Day. That's maybe like no one was there manning the kayaks. But they had kayaks and life jackets for rent.
They did.
We'll have to chase that up and put it in the show notes.
And there is, I'm just trying to pull it up now. We met a paddle rental place at the Hop Fest.
We did. We met an outfitter who does kayaking and paddling, paddleboarding and kayaking tours.
Yeah.
And they also do rentals, and they can drop the board or kayak at your house or the lake.
Yes, they do, and they're regularly at Lake Raleigh, so you can rent them for them. Gear up for adventures.
Gear up for adventures.
There you go.
And we'll pop them in the show notes too.
Yep.
But for us, we have, and people always ask us, we have a self-inflatable body glove board that we bought during the pandemic, and it's been great.
Great. So glad we got them.
Not as sturdy and as solid as a hard board, but easy to transport and easy to store. So that's why we got self-inflatable ones.
Yeah, they were great. And we actually went camping for 3 days out at Lake Gaston. So we were out on the paddleboards every day there. And it's just such a relaxing activity. Mm-hmm. And it is, if you've never done it before and you look at people doing it, oh God, that looks really hard. It's really not. You'll probably fall off a couple of times when you first start, but then it's pretty easy to stay balanced on them.
Just start on your knees, and it's just like being on a big plank.
Yeah, and it's just peaceful. It's just really, I love it. It's one of my favourite things to do. But anyway, Lake Gaston, that was beautiful. We'd never been to Lake Gaston before. We usually go to Carr Lake or Jordan Lake, but it's only 90 minutes northeast of Raleigh. It actually connects to Carr Lake via the dam up there, and it does go into Virginia. Mm-hmm. But we were in the North Carolina side, and we stayed at the Lake Gaston RV and campground there, which we found was the only place you could camp. Where at Carr Lake, I think it's more of a protected state park sort of place, so you have like state park type campgrounds. But it seems like it's kind of just private ones there. That was the only one we found, but it was really nice. Yeah,
RV side of things, like the hookups and stuff, they were quite nice. I wasn't too fussed, to be honest, with the tent camping sites.
No,
I have seen much better. Mm-hmm. And we were looking for a vacation rental property, but obviously being in the middle of summer and prices are high and supply is low, so maybe next time we'll look into that more. I'd love to get a lake house and that has like its own little jetty area, and we just go straight in for the paddleboard off there. But Lake Gaston. It was nice. Nice sunset. We had two little beach areas that you could swim out from. Obviously, like people were out there on their pontoon boats and jet skis and stuff like that. But it wasn't too crowded. It wasn't crazy like some other lakes we've been to that you can get, especially on weekends, which was nice.
And they had facilities there, like they had mini golf, so we enjoyed playing a couple of rounds of mini golf with the kids. And they had a swimming pool where we were like, why swim in the pool when you have this beautiful lake there? I'll go fresh water rather than chemical water. But anyway, if you like pools, that's there. And they have activities and events on. They had like a dance party one night we were there, and a little store. Actually, super friendly people that work there. The customer service there was really on point. They were great.
And the other thing we got to mention, Gaga. Gaga was there.
Okay, so guys,
not Lady Gaga.
Great. Not Lady Gaga. This is great. We're always learning new things here, living here as foreigners. But we're walking along the lakefront, and we came across this court, and it's called the Gaga Court. We're like, what is this? And so we asked on Instagram, go and check out our post on there. It'll be in the show notes. So many people commented and told us about Gaga Ball.
I can't believe I've never seen one before. Like, we've been here since, first come here in 2004. We've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
So it's just this little, was it an octagon?
It was an octagon, yeah.
And it's so like a little, I don't know, 2 or 3 foot high fence, and then it was a big sand pit.
Yeah,
like just sand. I'm like, what are you doing here? Is this like for young toddlers to
like
do sand castles?
Yeah. No, it's an Israeli sport, and it's like dodgeball, very similar to dodgeball, but kind of a few different rules. And so loads of people jumped out, told us the rules, and they also said, you can see it on Bob's Burgers. And I'm like, what is Bob's Burger? So I learnt something else. Bob's Burger is kind of this cartoon show. And so there's an episode where he talks about Gaga Ball, but
burger as in eat a burger.
Yeah, but it's like a cartoon show. I don't know.
Never heard
animated
of
thing, like a Bart Simpson kind of style cartoon animated thing. But anyway, apparently lots of kids play it at summer camp. So that's how a lot of people knew about it, because all their kids were doing it all the time at summer camp, and apparently they absolutely love it.
Huh. Yeah, well,
and camp, so summer camp, a lot of camp counsellors came out and said they played it all the time.
Or did they say scouts and that as well? Scout groups, maybe? No?
Probably. I think it's like dodgeball, so you could imagine it's at that, summer camp kind of environment.
I love dodgeball, so it'd be fun.
Yeah, we didn't play it because it was just us four, you and me and the girls. So it was like this would probably be a flop of a game. But
yeah, no, I would have won easily. Just branding you like hard. As I said to my kids, it reminds me of a game we used to play when I was in elementary school back in. I was just
branding.
With brandings, like in the quadrangle with a tennis ball, and we actually used to peel the fur off the tennis ball, and then you just had the inner case and wet it and make it really hard so it'd sting your legs when someone pegged the ball at you.
Kids, do not try this at home.
Brandings, what a great game.
Do not follow the Australians. Don't do what we do.
Sometimes you used to bring the tennis racket into it as well, like to whack it even harder.
I don't think it would be allowed these days.
No, it wouldn't be allowed. Come on.
But back then, anyway.
Our kids aren't even allowed out of the building to get sunlight, let alone play brandings.
Oh my gosh.
Moving on.
The joys of the 80s, I tell you, Gen Xers. Anyway, moving on. So that evening when we're camping, we had an experience where we heard something in the bushes, turned on the flashlight, and we all got excited because, like, oh my God, there's a skunk. And it was like the first time we'd ever seen a skunk. And then it scurried off into the bushes. So we captured it on video. I share it on Facebook, and one of our friends jumps out and says, that's not a skunk, it's a possum. And I'm like, are you kidding? You guys have the ugliest possums I've ever seen. In Australia, our possums, they're pests, but they're so, so cute. So I was like, God, America got ripped off.
Kind of got excited that it was a skunk. I didn't want to I don't know what the spray radius is of a skunk, so I'm not like, how close or far away
like,
do I get near this thing? I mean to look that up actually.
I did. Apparently the stink can linger for weeks after.
Yeah, but how far? What's the distance like if they get the initial
I don't know.
spray?
I think it can spray pretty far. But anyway, it was just
Yeah,
it was just a possum.
Totally ugly.
It was so ugly. So that was another cultural experience for us. Gaga ball and possums. So we went to Wrightsville Beach, which we speak about all the time, so we probably don't need to go into that, but we just love having Actually, we went on a Wednesday.
It was pretty quiet.
It was quiet. We were stoked.
Yeah, I was shocked. Because the hot tip is to, if you can, avoid the weekends. And if you go on a weekend, get there early. Like, I would leave Raleigh at sun up, maybe even earlier.
Yeah.
I wouldn't if you're going there on a Sunday or even a Saturday, I wouldn't get down to Wrightsville any later than 9 a.m.
No,
because parking is a nightmare down there.
Yeah.
I've done 2-hour laps trying to find a car park on a Sunday at like 10 a.m. and ridiculous.
And we just recently did a podcast too about beaches near Raleigh. We have a blog post on that as well, so we'll put that in the show notes for you so you can get more information. But we have been out exploring. We've done a lot of hiking this warmer season in Umstead.
They've dropped the ball a bit on the hikes. It's been a while.
Well, I think, we've been busy doing other things and it gets hot.
Yeah. We'll pick that up again
hiking weather.
maybe near the end of summer and into the fall.
Yeah.
See some beautiful leaves and stuff like that.
You can see some of those trails on the blog post. One trail we really loved was the Lob Lolly Trail. We took a little side path, which was hard to see, and found Davies Pond, which was really pretty. It's like you're in the jungle in Vietnam. Yeah,
we're going to do a guide to Umstead State Park. We're going to do all the trails. You can camp there, and there's the lake as well, where you can get out on a kayak or a paddleboard. So we're going to go and do that too.
Yeah, we are, and we'll do the camping to experience what it would be like. I don't feel like there's a lot to do. Like, there's no lake or anything to swim in, but I guess if you like hiking and biking, it might be just a cool outdoor hiking, camping experience just to get out in nature.
Yeah, because people have been asking us where's the closest places in Raleigh to camp, and then Jordan Lake obviously has campsites, and then the one in Umstead we mentioned.
I mean, Car Lake. We like Car Lake. It's only an hour from Raleigh. It's pretty much on the border.
Well, it's
and
an hour
is Lake Gaston.
Well, it's an hour from Durham, I think, so maybe just a bit over an hour. But yeah, when we say Car Lake, it's Kerr. We would say Kerr again. But yeah, a lot of campsites up there on RV sites and boating opportunities and sunsets and stuff like that. But yeah, we need to figure out more options for camping in and around the Triangle area.
I don't think there's a lot. There really isn't. Because it's urban. There's not going to be a lot of camping. You have to go out a little bit. So we've been out exploring. We've done a lot of festivals. Obviously, I feel the middle of summer, like July, June is kind of quiet. A lot of people are out travelling, so the city tends to get pretty quiet during those school break summer months. But, in May and beginning of June, we did a lot. We went to Artsplosia, Lazy Days out at Bond Lake Carey, which I loved. Really great setting for a festival, right in the middle of the forest, on the lake. There was live music, and the same artisans at Lazy Days you'll find at Artsplosia. And coming up, you will find them in the fall festival.
Falling for Local?
Sorry, no, hang on a minute. No, we went to Spring Days at Bond Park. Lazy Days is the fall one. Is that correct? Did I get them mixed up?
Yeah, no, you're right. I thought you were talking about Falling for Local at Dick's Park.
But that's coming. No, but Lazy Days will be in the fall, which is pretty much like Spring Days, but it's the fall version. Very much like Artsplosia, but it's in the fall. So all these different art events that happen in Raleigh, you'll find similar artisans there. They come and they display their artwork from across the state, and you may find from other surrounding states as well. The artwork is incredible, really is. And if you want to decorate your house, I'd recommend getting to any of those events and buying local from there. It's awesome.
Yeah, I went to Broogaloo recently as well in the spring, which is always that's a fun beer fest in downtown in Fayetteville Street. They have the two sessions, the Friday night session and then the Saturday session, and I think it's the second biggest beer festival in the country.
In the country?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
Like over
really?
like 100 breweries involved and food trucks and stuff. So look out for that next year. And following that, we went to Hops Fest, as you mentioned, out at the showgrounds.
Yeah, that was fun.
Which was cool
We
too.
had a good time there, and we discovered a few new brews that we liked. One was Tribuca, which is actually not alcoholic, but nice kombucha and natural, healthy soft drinks.
Oh, where's the fun in that?
Because, it was fun if you don't want to drink.
Yeah, it's a good option. Everyone
And
needs
mead.
a designated driver to
Yeah.
a beer fest.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So it was good. And then mead.
Mm-hmm.
I tried mead for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
One from out at Asheville was really good. So it's not. We like going to these events just because we can discover new, cool, like local brews and things.
Yeah. And we have a blog post on our site with all the annual events and festivals on thisisraleigh.com. And so
do.
check that out and pencil them in for next year, the ones that have already been this year.
That's right. And you can join our newsletter or our email community. There's a form on the front page of thisisraleigh.com. We every week will put out a email sharing the events happening for the week. So I do my best to keep you updated on cool finds, things that we've experienced for the week and discovered, but also events that are upcoming. And every month we also put out a post about events for the month.
Mm-hmm.
And so, things are always, new things are coming out, things are changing, updating. So that's the best way to get the events and happening information from us each month and every week.
Yeah.
Some other events, we went to Bubbles and Brisket. That's an annual event.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun. That's where we met the guys from Triangle Wine Company who are coming on to an upcoming podcast, and a really great brisket from around NC.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's an annual event. This year it was in the Smoky Hollow area, downtown Raleigh, near Glenwood South. And yeah, you pay for your ticket, and then it's all you can eat and drink brisket and bubbles and wine. And beer too. They have beer there too. So yeah, it's fun. It's a good way to taste test different barbecue options around the local area.
Yeah, and wear some loose fitting pants because you get full pretty quickly. So you want to stay for the whole 4 hours and kind of space it out. But they had great different varieties of brisket. There was one that was like a Korean style.
Mm-hmm.
There was your more traditional brisket, smoked brisket, Texas style brisket. And they have they can put out some really cool, unique sides and that with them as well.
Yeah, it's hard not to overindulge because once you pay your fee, you want to, it's like a big buffet. You just want to taste it all and go back for seconds and thirds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that event's hosted by Max and Matt from the NC Food and Beverage podcast.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got that on our annual events blog post too.
Yeah, we do. So, and the festival, we went to the girls' night out at KoKo Booth, where KT Tunstall played, who's a great performer. She was excellent live.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a one-woman band. She had the looping recording thing going, which I just discovered the name of it. So as she's singing, she'll record like a tambourine. She'll play a tambourine or make a noise into the microphone. And record it as she's playing and then put that on loop in the background. So it sounds like she's this whole band playing, but it's just her.
Yeah, a lot of artists do that. It's super clever.
Yeah. So she was great. But KoKo Booth is what a event space that is.
Yeah, if you ever get the chance to go and see a concert or go to an event out at KoKo Booth, it's in Carey, right on the lake. You got the pine forest, you got the lake there, nice little grassy hill area and some seats. It's one of our favourite live venues, definitely.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful spot. And I know coming up, they're going to have some cool, fun events there. I know they have Oktoberfest there.
Mm-hmm.
They have the bourbon, beef.
beer and barbecue.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
That's right. I think that's coming up too.
That's like October, maybe, later in the year. Obviously Oktoberfest, but yeah, I think it's in the fall. But that's on our annual events blog post. But yeah, KoKo Booth, awesome. We've seen Jack Johnson there, which was great, and a few other things. And also, we're getting carried away here. This is second quarter we're talking about, but the Chinese Lantern Festival is also held at KoKo Booth.
Yeah, yep.
So keep that in mind.
Good venue. My favourite in the Triangle area.
Mm-hmm.
We also had our first meetup in this quarter.
We did.
Which was a lot of fun. We went to Raleigh Beer Garden, easy place to have your first meetup.
Yep.
Outdoor space, loads of space. And it was just so much fun getting to meet a lot of you from our community, but not just for us to get to meet you, but to be able to see people who had just newly moved here and didn't really know anyone started making connections, and they're hanging out and stuff now. So we're really, really happy about that.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, that's for anybody, like Raleigh locals,
anyone.
Natives born and bred here, people who have recently moved here, people who are just visiting for a weekend. We just love meeting new people. And as I mentioned, we all spend way too much time online, so we love to get out in the community and meet people face to face and hear your Raleigh story or any story over a few drinks. So that was fun. So stay tuned. We've got another one that's going to be fun coming up soon.
Yeah, well, we'll tell, because by the time everyone listens to this, we'll have the event thing on, letting people know, the invite,
Yeah.
letting people know. So on July 23rd at Fortnite Brewery, they are having a Stranger Things 80s dance party. So who does not want to go to that? So that's going to be our meetup. We're going to have so much fun. You don't have to dress up, but why not? It's 80s. We know that we really wish everyone dressed like that these days. This is our chance to do it.
Yeah, we grew up with 80s music. Awesome. Love it.
It's going to be fun.
And
it's the Stranger Things.
Yeah, we've been watching the Stranger Things with our daughter. She put us onto it, and we've been binge watching that every night.
Yeah, and she's like on the train saying, yeah, Mum, Gen X's are pretty cool. So thanks, Stranger Things. Thank you for letting our daughter reaffirm what we've always told her.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but we'll put the
X
invite
on.
by the time you hear this podcast, we'll put out the invite on social media and stuff and via email. And so look out for that.
Yeah, and the tickets are $5. So you have to get that through the Fortnite Brewery event ticket sales. And yeah, so come along. It's going to be just a place for us to hang out and just have fun and create fun memories. Because why else are we here?
Yeah, and we will do our very best to have a meetup once per month. So
we will. Our life can be hectic. So
the intention is to get consistent with this.
Yeah.
Once a month. So stay tuned.
Yes, and as you know, we are travel bloggers as well, which means we do have to travel a bit. So we don't have a stable life. It's one of the challenges of our life is that it changes drastically all the time. So it is quite difficult for us to nail things down. But we are doing our best, and we're going to have fun things. We're going to look at doing maybe hiking. Maybe we could do some paddle boarding. Fun things like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We announced also this quarter, there is a whole podcast episode on it, that I'm now a real estate agent, and you can listen to that podcast because the crazy things I do.
Who knew that was in your future?
Yeah, no, never knew it, but that's the life of an entrepreneur. You see a door open, you go, I'm going to walk through that and see where it takes me.
Yeah, but long story short, not to sell houses.
No, I am a licensed real estate agent, and I got that with the purpose of being a connector. So we are going to save people time and hassle trying to figure out for themselves who they can work with, a trusted, qualified realtor. We're going to match them up. So I've got a team of qualified realtors that I'm building relationships with, who I really like, know and trust. Some of them, I have one that specialises in land acquisition, a couple that specialise in luxury homes. I have one now that is actually, I'm in the middle of forming a relationship with someone who actually works on rentals, real estate rentals and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a new arm of what we're doing. You can listen to the podcast to learn more about it. But if you're in need of a realtor, let me know and I can match you up.
Yeah, there's a form on our website.
Yeah, and we'll put it in the show notes.
Whether you're looking to move here and you need a realtor to help you buy a property, or if you're a real estate agent and you'd like to partner up with us, there's a form on our website. to do that.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be just buying a house too. If you're selling, we can help you find a listing agent for that. And I also have people in other states too.
Yeah.
So, if you're selling in, say, Arizona, I actually have a realtor who does that in Arizona too. I've got one in Boise, so I can find someone for you for sure. Oh, and another thing that we did too, we had a staycation in Durham.
We did.
That was fun. We love Durham.
Yeah,
Durham's cool.
I love 30-minute road trips.
Oh my God,
just
so
up
easy.
Just up the 40. Easy to get there.
So easy. And we did a whole podcast on it, so we don't need to go into it because people can listen to that.
Yeah, listen to the previous was the most recent podcast, I believe.
Yeah.
Durham. Yeah, so go check that out. But yeah, Durham's cool.
Durham's cool.
Fun things to do with kids or as a family or as a couple or like go for a date night, staycation. Great foodie scene. But
Yep.
And great bars and breweries.
Yeah, really cool. Cool spot. We also, in the last quarter, we spoke to you a lot about North Hills, that we were out exploring the North Hills area. So we finally got our North Hills guide up and done, published on the site on thisisraleigh.com. So you can head out and read that. We did a 48-hour guide to North Hills. Great area. Fun place to hang out.
Yeah, the more I dive into it, the more we enjoy that district. But yeah, go to our thisisraleigh.com, hit on the things to do tab and then the neighborhoods tab, and you'll see the 48-hour guide there.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I loved about going out there is one of my favorite coffee shops, Jabala, who I usually go to their Hillsborough Street location. They've opened up a new coffee shop in North Hills now.
Yeah, very popular.
Yeah,
oh
totally.
My gosh, it's so popular.
Like gold mine. And
Yeah.
they have more food offerings at this one as well, besides their great coffee.
And a couple of the restaurants we experienced there that we have now put into a brunch guide on the site, because we have so many people ask us, where's the best spots in Raleigh for brunch? And so we finally put that guide together. So you will find that on thisisraleigh.com. We'll put it in the show notes, but best brunch spots in Raleigh.
Yeah, we'll be adding to that list again. We haven't done them all.
No.
We're still eating our way around the Raleigh, Wake County area, which is endless. It's hard to keep up with all the brunch spots and stuff. But yeah,
So-
we've got, I think it's 12
it's
by memory
12,
on the
yep.
list. And so that's a great place to start. So check that out. We'll link that in the show notes.
And please, on that post, please do it on the post. Leave in the comments your favourite brunch spots in Raleigh, Wake County, and why, because that's helpful for us to know what to go and check out. But it helps people who are future people coming to read that post, because they will read the comments, and then you can share what you think is great, and then they can go and discover that as well, because, we can't see and do everything.
Totally.
Some other things that we've discovered this quarter that we really like, we'll just share some of that before we dive into some newsy type stuff. But Smokestack Cafe, we tried pig ears for the first time.
Oh, yeah. Crispy pig ears. Like, wow.
Oh my gosh. That was fun.
Smokestack Cafe, it's like a awesome little neighborhood corner eatery in historic Oakwood area, one of our favorite neighborhoods in Raleigh. It's like an old house that's been turned into a restaurant. They've got some indoor seating and a cozy shaded patio area. And crispy pig's ears. It was kind of like eating, like you said, crackling or like crispy bacon.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I recommend it.
Yeah.
It was a good little snacking thing.
Yeah. And that's a good spot. Like the food there all around was great. I had some ribeye, and we had some. They have $3 mimosas on
a Sunday.
for brunch for Sundays.
You can't go wrong.
No.
Really nice restaurant. Apparently, dinner there is great too. So we want to get there and experience a dinner there.
Yeah.
That was good, but we've done really well this month culturally. We've learnt what Gaga Ball is. We have Bob's Burgers. We've tried pig ears. Mm-hmm. And we just discovered this morning, interviewing Carrie from Design for Joy, a DOP kit, which is a man's toiletry bag. We feel like we've lived in Raleigh for like 10 years total now, that we should know it all, but we're still discovering new things, which is why we live as a foreigner. So.
New things and new ways to say things, or new names about things, because we have different names from down under a lot of the times.
Yeah, and I only just found out this past couple of weeks, I didn't know this, but ropeable is an Australian term.
Huh.
Americans don't know what it is. I was like, You know, you think you're speaking English, that everyone knows you're English, but Australian English is vastly different. So if you don't know what ropeable means, it means you are really, really angry.
Well, I'm ropeable about that they don't use that word here.
I know.
And come to think of it, I haven't said ropeable for a long time. So I've lost the lingo.
Yeah, you just drop it. I say it quite a bit. That's why I get strange looks.
Yeah. And
There
fair
you go.
income. Of course, I haven't
Yes.
said fair income for
No, I
quite
miss
a long
that
time.
word. I miss that word a lot.
We have to do a podcast episode on words and sayings and phrases and stuff.
We can teach Raleigh to be more Australian.
How to
That would be
speak
fun.
Aussie.
How to speak Aussie in Raleigh.
If you don't know, there's like a full-on thick book of slang that we could go through, but we won't do that.
Won't
But
do
no,
that.
we could do some of our favourites.
Our Aussie-ness is very unique. It's fun. But anyway, ropeable. Add
Slang.
that to your
If you're ever around
vocabulary.
us after a few beverages, adult beverages, the slang comes out more.
Yeah, you might
then-
not understand us. But then you can let us know, because then we discover that we are really Australian in some places where we just thought was speaking English. But there you
Yeah.
go. Moving on. Another place we discovered in Carey is now Bull City Cider. That's a cool little tasting room there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not my cup of tea.
No, you're not
I'm not
really
a cider
cider.
fan, but great for you and great for people that have the need to avoid beer.
Yeah.
And gluten-free options.
Yep, and they do cocktails with their ciders.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a unique point of difference
Yeah.
for them.
They do have some beers there that you can
Yeah.
have. It's not just 100% cider.
And they do have live music. I was just looking before. I think they have live music on a Friday, which would be good for us to check out.
Yeah.
Because we live in Carey.
Yeah. Anyway, I love live music.
Yeah.
I wish more places had live music. I'm there anytime. But yeah, just put some dude on a acoustic guitar and away you go.
Can't beat it. And City Club, we went up to
Oh, yeah.
City Club. Craig and I went there for lunch, but then I went there for a LinkedIn event, which was great. Amazing views from City Club.
Yeah, it's the top of the Wells Fargo building in downtown, which is the second tallest building in the city after the PNC Plaza. What floor was it again? I forget. 37 or
I'm not sure. It's high up.
32nd. But yeah, amazing views out of downtown,
Incredible views.
360-degree views. But yeah, they have events. They have the club off. You can become a member, obviously, and we can link to their offerings in the show notes as well. I won't go into too much about that, but we had lunch up there, and it's like co-working space, and there's function areas and
Yep.
stuff. People have weddings and that up there. It's yeah,
And the food was excellent. It's just as great as the view.
yeah,
So,
a great bison burger.
yeah, they had great salad and then good, beautiful chicken and a great chocolate torte at my LinkedIn event. It was lovely.
Yep.
And they have a lot of gluten-free options too, which makes me very happy. Okay, so the last new thing that we discovered this quarter that we're pretty excited to see how it develops is Fenton in Carey.
Yes, we went to the ribbon cutting ceremony and then an opening party at Fenton, which is a new development just not too far from Carey Crossroads area. Off of,
Right near the 40.
Yeah, right off the 40, one of the exits off the 40. And a place place to go shop. There'll eventually be a lot of restaurants and bars there. There's a movie theatre. What else they got?
They have a nice kind of outdoor area, and they've got really comfy couches, and they've just made it like cornhole games and that. They've just made it a real cool gathering space, and so they have a lot of events. At the moment, they do every week. You can check out on their website, but they're having like free yoga classes and fitness classes. Plus, they have live music every week. They had like a Pride event on and different things happening, and the movie theatre opened just this past weekend. So it's just a really cool gathering space. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, Paragon movie theatre, looks great. We're going to go and check that out. One of my favourite bars is opening up there, Dram and Draft
Yep.
Whiskey Bar. Awesome.
Excited about that.
Scott Crawford's having a restaurant open up there, one of the best chefs in Raleigh area
M Sushi.
from Crawford and Son and
Yep.
Jolie in North
Yep.
Person Street. Yeah, M Sushi
Which a
out
lot
of
of people
Durham, which is super popular. So places are just going to open up, just rolling out slowly. So keep an eye on that.
We have a post on This Is Raleigh too on that with lots of photos and stuff, so you can see like the cool vibe they have happening there. It's an awesome spot. And so that's kind of like our the things that we've mostly discovered this past quarter. Some big news just dropped like yesterday is that Raleigh has now approved the social district in the downtown area where people can walk around with an open drink.
Yeah, that's mostly in the Fayetteville Street area. Up until 10 p.m, I believe, by memory. I should have checked my notes and the news updates. But yeah, and when that's actually coming into effect, pretty soon, I believe.
It is pretty soon.
Yeah, but it's just to encourage more people to come into like the downtown area, obviously at nighttime and stuff like that, Fayetteville Street. If you haven't been in Raleigh for a while, Fayetteville Street, it's flip-flopped from being like, you could drive through the street. It was a pedestrian mall there at one time when we first moved there. They're just trying new things in the downtown area to help out like the other bars and restaurants and retail stores and stuff like that, create more foot traffic. So, yeah.
Yeah, because it hasn't recovered as strongly after the pandemic as what they were hoping. So just remember that when you're out exploring. I know things are tough at the moment because we have high inflation, we have high fuel costs and all of that happening. So just remember to come downtown when you can and support local when you can.
Yeah.
The other big news that we're like boo-hooing about is that boo-hoo. This is a boo-hoo to the Char Grill takeover.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know if it's signed, sealed and delivered, but yeah, apparently a 20-story tower is going where the original Char Grill burger place is on Hillsborough Street. Now, I do believe that they're going to incorporate Char Grill back into the tower in some fashion, and they will reopen there, which is great. It's just like, I don't know how long Char Grill is going to be closed during construction, what that does to the current employees and what they do in that time being. And then it's not just about them reopening in the new tower. It's a landmark building. Like it's a unique feature and landmark in Raleigh instead of another glass square tower. I mean,
which you find in any city anywhere, which is the frustrating thing, is developers are not caring about maintaining the character of what makes Raleigh Raleigh.
Are you ropeable?
I am ropeable, actually. I am ropeable. I was ropeable when they destroyed the Dram and Draft unique garage. That bar was the coolest bar in the city. It's still very cool. Yeah. Still love it. Still go to it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just stop already.
Yeah, we're not anti-growth. Like, we understand growth happens. You evolve or die. We just hope that Raleigh doesn't lose its unique identity and landmarks and history and features and become just another city, as you said. So
that's what we don't want.
But, we can't speak to the situation of the owners of Char Grill and stuff, where they are at. Like, obviously it's been a tough couple of years. So
they've got to make the best decision for them.
Certainly don't speak for them, and every private business can make their own choices.
That's right.
But, yeah.
And we have to.
Hopefully it becomes the best of the best positive move for them.
Yeah. Yep. These are the challenges of a rapidly growing city like Raleigh.
Yes.
And that's why we want to vote well. So we have people who maintain that integrity as best they can, balance the growth, keep the trees, protect our beautiful natural spaces, and balance this growth and keep Raleigh.
Exactly. Like the vibrant life and the joy that people have living here. They moved here, they were born here, they stayed here for a reason. So hopefully we can maintain that balance as best as possible.
Yep. That's it. That's our updates for quarter two.
That's everything.
We did leave on a ropeable kind of note. But
at least they learn a new word they can incorporate into their lives if they get frustrated with something.
But listen, here's a positive, uplifting note. We're going to be talking about wine in our next podcast.
Yes.
And how you can balance wine with healthy living.
Yeah, we need to be drinking wine on that podcast, I feel, just to make it real.
Yeah.
So we'll have to try and plan
I'm all for it. Well, we were just we weren't, but we were talking about drinking margaritas with Carrie from Design for Joy in our last podcast,
Yeah.
which will be coming out soon. So
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, so April, May, June, I saw the blur, but I think that's some of the highlights. And I just want to quickly mention, because it's summertime now, and by the time we get down to our third quarter wrap up, but yesterday we took our kids to the Wet and Wild Water Park in Greensboro for the first time.
Yeah.
It's just over an hour from Raleigh, so if you're looking for somewhere to go cool off, some fun water slides and stuff, easy to get to. We didn't even know it was there.
We didn't.
Crazy night with learning again. I just
Learning
typed
again.
in water parks near Raleigh, and yeah, because we've been to Volcano Bay and Universal down in Orlando many times. It's not to that level, but I was pretty impressed.
We actually have a Wet and Wild in Australia.
We do.
So I don't know if they're connected in any way, but that was just felt like a little bit of home
Yeah.
going there. And tomorrow we're actually going to Carowinds for the first time,
Yeah.
theme park. And so we're excited about that. Our girls are very excited about that. So you can follow along social channels. By the time you hear this, we would have already been. So you can see it on our social, and we will have blog content about that as well.
Yeah, going to go and ride the big roller coasters.
Yeah, it's
Should
going to
be
be
good.
fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. And so, stay with us for the upcoming quarter because there's more fun stuff happening in Raleigh. We'll be out experiencing and doing as much as we can. Craig will be off to Ireland, so follow Y Travel Blog. You don't want to miss that. No one wants to miss
Yeah, I'll
trip
keep you
to
updated
Ireland.
on that. It's not till September 24.
Yeah. And then hopefully we'll fit in a trip to Paris if we can. But that's kind of everything that's coming up for us. And remember to go and join our newsletter. This is Raleigh.com. Fill in the form because we will be updating you every week with cool things we're discovering, events, and so forth.
Yeah. So, yeah, subscribe to our podcast and all the channels. Subscribe to our newsletter email. Send us a direct message anytime via Instagram at This Is Raleigh. And we'll be happy to help, or an email. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find someone who does.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for listening. Appreciate your support. Remember to subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a review. That's super helpful. And share us with your friends. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Cheers, guys.
Don't be ropeable now.